Alright. If anyone's not here now, I'm just gonna assume that they're here. They're not coming. We'll be running late, so we'll just get things started off. First of all, welcome to the first sermon of Valentine in a long while. Let's try and keep this one civil. Let's make sure no one gets shot this time. Please and thank you. But after the recent events over the last couple of weeks, I thought it would be appropriate for us to come together and deal with strife in the community and together. For Valentine is a strange place in the depending on your beliefs in the eyes of gods or whoever you believe in. It is a place of strife, a place of conflict, a place of many knives arched against one another. But in the time of true strife, for example, when the Gambino gang ran through town, killing everyone that they seen and shooting up the place, the town came together as a whole. For that one single moment, everyone from every single walk of life, be you rich, poor, be you a criminal or a lawman, from everyone from every walk and every state of life, you came together as one to stand against evil and its united front. Go away, Emma. And on that front, that is one of the most important essences of who we are as people, as a community, and as a town. That
Hallelujah.
oh, in the whole form of town, that we stood against the darkness, and eventually we won, be it with government intervention, but still the town stood firm as a whole. But in the book of Isaiah, it is said that you will keep perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. And all of those people that the town trust in, believe in, and stood behind came together for that one single moment, and everyone fell in behind them as one group, as one mind. And there we stood. And strife can come in many ways, shape, or form. Like Daniel here, when someone new comes into town or is down on the luck, Daniel can be very charitable. He helps them out, he shows them where to go, he teaches them things. It's a very important part of who we are as a people. You know, strife doesn't always come in the form that we expect it should. Strife could be many things. It could be war, it could be loss, you know, it could be a loved one dying, like poor Thaddeus, who now lies in peace in the graveyard. It could be many things. You know, a lot of us deal with strife every day. The doctors, every day, have to ride out, put their lives on the line to help those in need. The lawmen, they have to ride out at the drop of a hat to go and solve crime, to put their lives in danger to help other people. Even people around town are always in constant strife. But for those who are suffering through strife and they feel like they're at the bottom of the barrel, what you've got to realize is even if you don't believe in a god, even if you don't believe in spirits or what people would consider something worth believing, remember that there is always faith in your common man. Because me myself, I know I'm not exactly the perfect Christian. I'm not exactly an incredible believer and those, as most of you around town that know me will attest to. But there is one thing that I can say at the end of every single day, that I may not be graced in the eyes of God. But one thing I do have faith in is the people of this town and the people of this community, and the ability for at any moment for us to put our differences completely to one side and come together and help each other. And of course, you know, sometimes it comes together in God's words himself, in his book and his Bible, and you know, the different fall downs from that entire thing. And for those at the end of the rope, for those struggling to make it day after day, that feel like they're cast out, don't belong anywhere, don't want to be anywhere, that are burying themselves deep in the hole that is their own minds, remember that in the book of the Philippines, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, But in every situation, by prayer, by petition, with thanksgiving, you present your request to God. And even if you don't believe in a God, it always means that you can reach out to someone, be it one of the pillars of the community, be it one of the people just around you, a kind stranger in the street, that you can stop and ask for help. Because as much as Valentine's known for its high crime rate, gunfights in the streets, its rowdy locals, and its even rowdier population, that I've never seen a group of people more willing to put their hand out and lift someone else up that's down in the mud. Even though most of you will just hog tie them and throw them in a ditch, there's some amongst you that are willing to step out of that line, to hold out your hand and help someone, which is always an important part. Like I myself, when I first came to the county, I wasn't exactly the kindest person to a lot of people. I was known for some of my more shadier activities, but it was one day it was someone came up to me. It was just, why do you do this? And being fully honest with myself, I don't have an answer for them. Like, why do you get in gunfights? Why do you go around randomly stabbing people or taking their worldly possessions? Why do we do that? Because most of us, when we do it, we really don't need to. We just do it because we have nothing better to do. But when you think of it, it's easy to raise a gun and hit and kill a man. It's easy to take out your knife and put it in someone. There's nothing easier than to take a life. But what takes the bigger step is to not take that life. Is to stop and think for a second before you act and go, why am I doing this? One more word out of you, Emma. Is why do we do this? And that thought alone can stop so many fights. It can stop your gun from exiting its holster and putting a bullet into someone just because you're bored. And this is what I mean in strife. Because, as I say, strife comes in all shapes, all forms, and it comes in all walks of life. Some of the more pious believers may call it the devil, some the more spiritually inclined may call it, a bad vibe or a bad juju or whatever your vernacular is on the situation. But, there's no more violent thing than your own head, like what it will do to you. And if you look around at everyone here around you, no matter if you're new or old to the county, if you're rich or poor, I've seen you all in the worst situations in Valentine, like when the three bucketheads rolled into town and tried to kidnap a deputy. It was all of you who put a stop to that. When the Gambinos rolled into town and shot the place up, it was you guys that put a stop to that. When the law can't make it into county and someone starts being an idiot around the place, robbing you people, it's you who put a stop to it. And sometimes all it takes is to show each other the respect that you've all earned. Be it the lawmen who, as much as most of you hate to admit it, some of them do a genuine good job. And there's one amongst us, good old Theodore Etheridge over there hiding in the back. As much as he doesn't admit it, and as much as people think that they don't do anything, they do a lot. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. They're out stopping bad guys. They're out arresting people. They're out making sure that bit by bit that the entire county becomes slightly safer each night. The lawmen themselves, the deputies like Johnny and Zane, they're out stopping people. They're out listening to your concerns, being respectful to you. They're out trying to make connections with all of you. The bartenders, they're serving people, getting their food. The doctors, the less said about the doctors, the better. They're out there every day selling you your tonics, giving you your bandages, and patching up your wounds. And most of you are respectful to them. But there's always that one bad seed in the crowd that decides to turn around and spit in the doctor's face or try and harangue them or kidnap them or rob them. But do they ever get away with it? No, because there's always someone else in the town that comes up and puts a stop to it, be it a lawman, be it the marshals, be it one of you as an individual. And it's these exact moments where you've got to think that even if you don't believe in God, even if you think that God has abandoned you or that you think that you're not graced in his eyes or deserving of his forgiveness, that I'm here to tell you, even if you don't think that you're deserving of this, of his forgiveness, he will forgive you. But you first need to be able to forgive yourself. You know, you must be able to forgive others for their transgressions. You need to be able to think for a moment, to look at one another as people, as equals. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, you're all the same. Each and every single one of us. You know, we're all trying to make a living, we're all trying to make our lives, and we're all trying to get ahead in the world. And sometimes it causes friction. Sometimes there's an issue, sometimes someone gets shot, someone gets hurt, or there's an argument and people fall out. But that isn't going to solve itself. You know, things like pride come into it, things like deceit, when at the end of the day, you should be able to walk up to your fellow man, no matter what happened, and be able to look them in the eye and forgive them. Even if you can't forget what they've done, even if you feel like there's a lack of trust, why hold on to the grudge when you could be the bigger person? You could walk away instead of turning it into a war, instead of dragging more people into it. You yourself could be the one thing that stops everything from going wrong. And if there's one thing that you take away from this tonight, it should be that at the end of the day, it all comes down to what's inside your heart. You know, it all comes down to what you believe in. And even if you believe that no matter what, I'm going to shoot that man, think about, why should I shoot that man? Is it really worth the time? Is it really worth the effort? Is it really worth the run-in with the law and all the problems that come after it just for the sake of one single shot? Because I think you'll find that most times, 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. There's always another way around it. You can always talk to the person. You can meet them. Even if you know them, even if you don't know them, get to know them. Speak to them on the level. And if they don't want to listen, then that's on them. You could always just turn your back and walk away. You could just never look at them again. Because at the end of the day, your soul should be what's important to you. Your conscience, how you sleep at night. Because I know I've done bad things, and I guarantee you there's not one person in this crowd amongst you that has no regrets. Nothing that they've done that they could have felt they fixed. Something that they could have feel like they've done more. Something that they feel like they should have stepped in and stopped something. But could you have? Because what you've got to remember is it's all in the past.
Mister.
Every day is a new day. Every dawn is a fresh start in God's eyes and whoever you believe's in eyes, and it should be in your eyes as well. That every day is fresh. Every day you can change something about yourself. Every day you could do something different. Why focus on a past regret? Why focus on a past accident or mistake, a past killing, when you can focus on stopping one from happening the next day? When you can stop yourself from taking a step off the ledge the very next day? You know, so when you walk away from here, if you see someone down on the luck or new on the streets, if you see someone get into trouble, talk to them. Introduce yourself. Speak to them as a person. Forget your status, forget who you think you are. Because don't forget, the day that you close your eyes for the last time, the day that you think you're going to go to heaven or hell or wherever you think you're going to go, that it's all of your deeds. Like, you're a judge by the deeds you do, and you're also judged by the deeds you don't do. So instead of focusing on the past, balance those scales. You know, if you done something you regret 15 years ago, yesterday, 4 days ago, 4 hours ago, the next day, do something different. Try something new. Talk to someone. You know, if you killed a man yesterday, help a man the next day. Balance out the scale. You know, it costs nothing to be kind to a stranger. It costs nothing to be polite. And it costs nothing to remember at the end of the day that we all came from the same dust, and the day we die, we all return to the same dust. Because you may be rich now, you may be popular now, you may be an outcast now, you may be a criminal, a lawman, you may be anything. But at the end of the day, you are what you are. You will be judged the exact same as everybody else. So why not go out on a good note? You know, if you feel like you have too much money and you don't have anything to spend it on, share it out with other people. Help a new person out. Get them on their way. Give them something that they can, you know, it costs nothing to lift someone up, you know, to be that helping hand in someone's life. Because I know most of you didn't have that. And I know a lot of people say that they didn't get it. And some people see someone else do it and they think, why do they get that helping hand? Why didn't I get that helping hand? Instead of being mad about it, instead of being angry about not getting that lift up, be that helping hand. Because even if you're a dark, evil person, there's always that little bit of good, that hesitation, that moment where you think for the first time, am I doing the right thing? And once you think that, once you realize that, you can change. No matter what happened, you can fix it. No matter what went wrong, you can become better. And that is the main thing. Even in times of strife and the worst possible times, you could do the worst things, but you could always do better. And I believe that every single person standing around me today is capable of doing something better, of being charitable, of being kind, of helping a stranger. Just doing one thing, you could become that person. And that is all I want you to take away. Even if you don't do anything, think about it. You'll think, is there anyone you could have helped? If so, find them, talk to them, or if you see another stranger, help them.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, there you go.
Amen indeed.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for your time, preacher.
hmm Now, if anyone wishes to add anything or say anything in front of the crowd today, please feel free to come up here and say something. If anyone wishes to take me aside and say something private in my ear today or any time when I'm in the town, my gates are always open. I'm always available. If I don't have time then, I'll make time. And you should all do for each other as well. Alright? Alright.
Somebody left something for the preacher. I don't want the gremlins to get it.
Well,
Um,
thank you all for
Morning.
coming to my TED Talk, I guess.
Thank you for that.
Well done.
Well, there you go. See?
Be here for the next one.
There you go. I am fully capable of not being a dick sometimes. Ta-da! There you go. Now you're fucking crowding up my post. Now, if anyone needs to speak to me or anything, fucking feel free to grab me.
A donation was...
You said gravity, right?
Don't
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
like that.
Okay, fair. What do you need?
Oh, sorry. No, what? Oh, I was just gonna say it was nice. I'm so fucking tired.
Oh, thank you, Fee.
So what was that you said about well, anything in general? Because I don't know.
Damn it, Fee.
Angus, something was left for you on the porch.
It's a Bible.
No, it's fine. Come here. I picked it up
Good.
because the gremlins got it.
Motherfucker. Oh, thank you. Ford, it was very kind of you.
It's not mine. It's not for
Oh.
me.
Well, to whoever that was,
It's for Tuna.
Clearly
Fortuna.
me.
Thank you, Fortuna.
Clearly me, right?
Oh, hello.
So I'm the one that put it, picked it up and put it down. Right?
Well, so that automatically becomes yours, does it, for you?
I've been up for 20 hours. Take a fucking break.
Sleep.
I don't even know why I'm awake. I have no idea. All right, bye.
I like how you're all staring at me like vultures down there.
Sorry, just in my head a little bit.